Now, next tonight, when was the last time you used a phone box? I can't remember.
Years ago.
Ages ago. For many, they've become a thing of the past, haven't they? With mobile phones allowing us to communicate from pretty much anywhere.
But there are parts of Cumbria and the south of Scotland where phone signal is poor, and some communities still rely heavily on their phone boxes, particularly when it comes to emergencies.
Well, now, new rules introduced by the regulator Ofcom mean that more of them will be able to keep operating in the future. Bairbre Holmes has the story.
For generations of people living in villages like Troutbeck, public phone boxes have been a lifeline. But with a vast majority of us now owning mobiles, using payphones or queuing for them is no longer part of day-to-day life. Changes are coming to the nation's phone network, which means 3/4 of boxes like these could be decommissioned in the next 3 years. And new rules are being drawn up to decide which are kept and which are closed. So communities like Troutbeck, which have poor mobile phone signal, are anxious theirs stay.
It's an urgent little building, really. We need it. Mobile phones are all right till you lose battery.
Even if it only gets used very rarely, just those occasions when it does, it is vital.
If the electricity goes off in winter, then the main mast can go and all mobile phone signals, the limited mobile phone signals that they got, then tend to not work.
The proposed rules will protect kiosks in areas with poor mobile phone coverage, in accident or suicide hotspots, or those which are regularly used, and the public will be able to have their say.
When any payphone is been marked for removal, BT will need to consult the local authority. And at that point, the local authority, I hope, would be asking communities, or they will be asking them to input about whether or not any of the criteria that we've set out is met.
But it's not just rural communities who need phone boxes. Charities like the Samaritans say they are essential to people in distress.
When people are desperate, they need to talk to somebody. Imagine how much worse that would be, how much worse it would make you feel if you couldn't reach out to Samaritans or any other organisation.
Along with tens of thousands of phone calls made from public phone boxes to charities like the Samaritans last year, 150,000 emergency calls were placed, which shows just how important it will be to find the balance and protect those kiosks that are still needed as technology improves.
We can join Bairbre now at a phone box near Brampton in Cumbria. Bairbre, and what about those phone boxes then that are no longer needed? That one clearly is.
We do know why people may not use their local phone boxes for phone calls anymore. They are still very fond of them, in particular the iconic red phone boxes like this one, which have been made into 1,000 different types of souvenir. So there is a scheme called Adopt a Kiosk, where for just £1, local communities can take over a phone box and turn it into a public amenity. So this one here has been made into a little mini library, but there are many other uses around our region. For example, many phone boxes now hold defibrillators, so they are still there in an emergency and they are still providing a life-saving service. So while numbers of phone boxes will reduce, they still won't disappear off our streets. They'll just change in the role that they play in our lives.
Bairbre, thank you very much indeed.